Now today we're going to head out on the open road, and a couple of the things that crossed my mind here early in the morning was the longevity that a lot of the bikes in my collection have had. The R1 is now 15 years old. Some of the other bikes are as much as 44 years old that I've owned them. And longevity is a wonderful thing. And it's wonderful to have people, friends, everything in your life for a long time, and motorcycles. And not everybody has those kind of relationships. But my friend Les McDonald, who copied me many times, and I'm going to tell a story at the end of the video, he's the reason I got the MT-09. He just got a new bike. This is his bike. At the end of this video, I'll tell that story. I think it's pretty interesting. You can watch it all in 4K. Just adjust your setting. We have been blessed with just a wonderful summer so far. The farm is producing. The bikes are running like Rolex watches. We've managed to schedule things in our life not to interfere with the riding, and we're getting to ride almost every day. And after a quick pre-flight and feeding the fish, feeding the birds, taking care of the garden, doing whatever Karen has on the schedule, we basically have the rest of the day free. So my thought process during this ride was about the longevity of the motorcycles. And not only the R1, of some of the other bikes that have been in my collection, again, a long time, over 40 years. And back to the RD days, and whenever I'm riding, I'm thinking about something from the past, sometime far into the past, sometime not that far. And pretty soon what you do today becomes the past. So this bike I've had 15 years. I've always over-maintained it. And in the morning, cleaning the bugs out of those ram air scoops, always one of the joys of owning an R1. Checking the tire pressure, making sure I'm right where I want it to be. And those are Pirelli Angels, and it looks like they're wearing pretty well. And what we're going to see at the very end. I never to the bottom of the ninth. I don't try to do tire wear things. Anyway, some of them seem to get real good, and then all of a sudden, the last little bit, when you think you're going to get 3,000 more miles, they disappear. But the fish always need to be fed. Karen always has some chores in the garden, some flowers to pick, something to do, some weeds to pull. There's always something. And the fish are always hungry, trust me. And I always get the final weather report from Karen. The garden's done now. I've had my last cup of coffee, and it is time to get out on the open road on the R1. Now, some of the bikes that I bought over the years and had for a very short amount of time did not make it into my final collection, and they did not have longevity. I got sick of things right away on them. Some bikes had just the wrong ergonomics for me. I mistakenly bought a 410 Husqvarna when my dirt bike days were over. My sell-by date for my legs was already over, period. And I was very disappointed that I even bought the bike, because I'm not able to ride dirt bikes well anymore. So having a bike that lasts is good. And it's always a shame when you wind up buying a bike that doesn't really suit your needs, or your needs change over a very short amount of time, and the bike then has no longevity at all. And thinking back over my purchases of motorcycles, a lot of bikes looked real good the day I bought them. And after owning them for some amount of time, I said, what the hell was I thinking when I bought this bike? They just didn't meet the unique needs that I have for a motorcycle. And I also get to ride all of Luciano's bikes. Over the years, I've ridden probably 30 or 40 of his motorcycles that he's restored. And I can tell right away, some of them really fit my needs. and some don't fit my needs at all. And then when you come across a bike that really does fit your needs, fits your ergonomics, fits the performance you have in mind and your budget, it's a wonderful thing. It then becomes a keeper. And 15 years ago when I got the R1, clip-ons were fine. I was happy. I was a young guy and I was ready to deal with it. Now, I'm going to be 79 very soon. Clip-ons are out of the question, like Husqvarna 410s are. And the clip-ons, the sell-by date is already expired. And for my collection, I ultimately wanted to have one bike from every 10-year period. I have that. I'm not sure my collection is finished yet. Karen thinks it is finished. I'm thinking, maybe, maybe not. And as I've gotten older, I've changed things on the bike that normally, if you could stay one age for your whole life, well, I didn't manage to accomplish that. And getting the handlebars right, getting the ergonomics right, and getting at the later stage of my life, getting a quiet exhaust back on the bike, all little pieces of the puzzle that make for a bike that I've owned 15 years, about 38,000 miles now. And the radar detector even is a critical part of it, but now it is truly a keeper and part of my collection. And I'm sure eventually the only item about the bike that I'd like to add to it right now, I'd like to put a quick shifter on it. I haven't found one that suits my needs, and I found some that don't, so I guess that's part of it. It may be coming, maybe this winter. Longevity is such a special thing in life because we live in a world where you buy a new this, that, or the other thing. You're used to the idea that you replace things on a regular basis. Years ago, you bought things and kept them and maintained them and fell in love with them and they treasured them. And my Lionel trains are a good example of that. I still have trains in my collection that are 70 years old. A lot of things over the years, they come and go with the wind. I try to find that special bike that I really am going to fall in love with, because owning it over a long multi-year period, it really floats my boat, and that's what I'm looking for, and that's what I always try to add to my collection and have it right to the end. And I know some of my friends enjoy buying and selling bikes like you change your underwear, but I don't. I really enjoy, once I find the bikes I want to keep them. And all of the things to me that make this bike a keeper. It's a cross plane. It's the first year Yamaha made the cross plane, so it has a little piece of motorcycling history there. It's the last year they didn't have traction control. Well, I'm not so sure about that, Yamaha, but anyway, I do like the bike. Now it's funny, I don't know how this worked out in my life, but the year 2009, I bought this bike in 2009, and Rob and I bought the Black Ninja in 2009, and I bought my Volkswagen, that I still have, in 2009, and I bought the Toyota Sienna in 2009. That must have been a very good year. I don't know how that all worked out, but I just thought about that now. But you know what? Here's the funny thing. I have all four of them. I have both of the cars I bought in 09, and they're both in pretty decent shape. And the bikes, I think, are in real good shape. And you know what the truth is? I hate to even admit stuff like this, but the reality is they're probably all going to outlive me. And it won't be long before we find out if that's true or false. And in a lot of ways, I think finding the right bike that meets your needs is like finding the right woman or man of your dreams. And once you find it, you want to treasure it and take care of it, over-maintain it, polish it, keep the bugs out of the ram air, and be super, super careful you don't wind up putting it in a ditch or worse. And I think I've just been very lucky in life that at this point in my life, I do have a nice collection. Random things I think about toward the end of a ride. I wonder how many coats of wax are on this bike. I wonder. I wish there was a way you could count. A lot. And the only negative thing I've found in 15 years of owning the bike is it really does go through tires relatively quickly. And I'm not sure there's an answer for that. I know the answer. You just buy more tires. And in 38,000 miles in 15 years, there's only really been one repair to the bike. I had to replace the starter. And other than that, it's been totally bulletproof. Another thing to me that makes this bike a lot of fun to ride, way more fun than the FZR, is the power band. The FZR tends to be really peaky. It's the same, pretty much similar, same bike. But this bike with the cross plane has beautiful, beautiful low-end torque and throttle response. Now, a lot of things are in the eye of the beholder, but one thing is not in the eye of the beholder is longevity. When you have something 15 years and you still enjoy it, I don't know how to say it, but it means something. Yamaha did something right. Another thought on longevity. Karen and I are married 33 years, and we live in the same house 31 years. And now I got to get back to the farm and see what's cooking. Oh, we are back from just a beautiful, beautiful ride. What a day this was. Holy mackerel. And the farm is producing, and I'm headed inside. Get one of those big glasses of iced tea and see what Karen harvested this morning. So these are flowers fresh from our garden. I surprised Karen this morning with some fresh flowers, for which she made me a great big glass of iced tea when I get back from the ride. Hey, I hope you enjoyed sharing this ride, sharing our farm. Hey, what can I say? So my friend, longtime friend, Les McDonald, a world-class modeler and super enthusiastic motorcyclist, recently had an accident on his FZ09, a relatively serious accident it looked like from the pictures, and looks like he's fully recovered and back riding. In fact, this is supposed to be a picture of the first ride when he rode his new bike. But the thing I like about sharing things with people that have more than one interest in life, it's nice that we both built models. Many of my friends do. Many of my friends have train layouts. Many of my friends enjoy other things that I enjoy, aviation, for instance. And longevity, in terms of motorcycles, in terms of friendship, longevity is a very, very special thing. Now, because over the years, when Les got the FZ09, he was showing me all the different mods he made and going on and on about how much he liked the bike and everything. And that really influenced me when I got my MT09. And his influence, and he was out at the World Championships looking at one of my planes here, the A26. And I posted some video of that recently. It got good response and nice comments. And I'll be posting more model airplane stuff in the future too. But Les's influence got me the MT-09. I did all the modifications on it. And I hope over the years he's seen some of my videos beside the obvious ones, and seen how much of an influence he was on my life and on that motorcycle. And we all, at one point in time, he was the top dog in modeling, of course, and we all wanted to be like Les, that's for sure. We wanted to have shiny airplanes and be handsome and debonair like he was. I'm not sure many of us accomplished it. I know I didn't. But anyway, Les, thank you for sharing the photos, and I hope you did enjoy the video. If you did, please hit the like button and share it with your friends. More good stuff is coming soon. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Please hit the like button if you did, and thank you so much for watching.